Can't you look at the country and say that, man, the people in South Africa, they are not protected? The fact that people in South Africa are not protected, it means that these people who are supposedly in charge of defense in this country, they don't know what the hell they are doing. They don't know what the hell they are doing. I mean, like, don't we have better people to actually take charge of that department?
The 360 experience with Thomas M.
Right, thanks, Leanne, from Gallagher Convention Centre. But just a short while ago, of course, we did capture the arrival there at the Littleton police station of the former Speaker Nosiviwe Mapisa Nqakula. As you can see, those were the same vehicles that our colleague Criselda Lewis clocked earlier on, leaving the home of the former Speaker. They have now arrived at the Littleton police station. Let's cross to our reporter at that location, Samkele Maseko, of course, who's keeping an eye there for us on what's happening. Sam, so what's the latest from your side?
Hey guys, looking at this whole thing of Nosiviwe Mapisa Nqakula, do you actually believe that this woman is going to spend some time in jail? Do you think that this woman is actually going to be held accountable? Because I asked the same question yesterday and people said no. People said no, there is no way this woman is going to spend time in jail. There's no way this woman is going to be held accountable. So people actually think that there's going to be some technicality that is going to be thrown out so that this woman cannot spend time in jail. The same way they did with Jacob Zuma. And looking at how people are actually feeling when they see the story of Nosiviwe Mapisa Nqakula is that people are actually getting frustrated with the fact that politicians are treated better than them. The taxpayers of this country, the people that are paying these politicians, they are being treated worse by the justice system in this country. But you look at people like Nosiviwe Mapisa Nqakula, you look at Jacob Zuma, you look at all the politicians that have been accused of heinous crimes, but these people are treated much better than the average people on the street. And people are starting to talk about it. I think one day, if it may not be today, it may not be next year, but I think one day this whole thing is going to blow up in their face. The fact that politicians that are being paid by taxpayers are treated better than people who are paying the taxes in this country. And I think it's high time people start speaking out. It's high time people start speaking out, man. The fact that people actually don't see Mapisa Nqakula being held accountable, man. Can you imagine what is going to happen with an average South African if they was accused of a fraction of what Mapisa Nqakula has done? The same thing can be said about President Ramaphosa with Palapala. Can you imagine what the justice system will do to you if you could be found with a foreign currency hidden in your mattresses and your sofas? Can you imagine, man? These people will be throwing the books at you left, right, and center. These people will make sure that you are held accountable and you spend time in jail. But when it comes to these politicians, man, the politicians are getting away with everything in the country. And I honestly believe that people are starting to get frustrated with it. People are starting to get pissed off with the fact that these people, man, are committing the crimes, the heinous crimes. These people are committing corruption left, right, and center, but nothing is done against them. Nothing is done against them. But when it comes to average South Africans, if they commit a fraction of what these people have committed, the justice system in the country makes sure that these people feel the wrath of law. It feels the wrath of law. If there's anything that you can conclude with the whole Mapisa Nqakula is the treatment that she got. The treatment that she's got is not the same treatment that average South Africans are getting. And this is why I say that people are starting to get frustrated. People have been saying that the whole night. You remember I did that video yesterday. And people say that, man, you know what is frustrating is that these people are not going to hold Mapisa Nqakula accountable. And the fact that we have a lot of comrades, people know of comrades that are corrupt. People were watching state capture. People watched people getting exposed live on national television. And the fact that nothing has been done against those people, the taxpayers still are not happy about it. They're not happy about it. So I don't know, but one day I think this is a ticking time bomb. I think something is going to happen to South Africa. I think one day the taxpayers of this country are going to stand up and saying, guys, enough is enough. We are not saying that we need to abandon or get rid of our justice system, but we need our justice system to act equally. We need these people to be held accountable the same way people are being held accountable on the ground.
Yeah.
Sakina, the convoy of the Speaker of Parliament, former Speaker of Parliament rather, Nosiviwe Mapisa Nqakula, has arrived here at the Littleton police station. They did pass by, and one would assume they went through the back. We also did see a convoy of one of the former deputy presidents of the country also coming in and driving in to this specific police station. We're not yet sure who that convoy was ferrying to this police station, but we do know that the Speaker of Parliament's convoy has definitely arrived here at this police station. We also did speak to the advisor of the former speaker, who said that he is also making his way to the police station, where Nosiviwe Mapisa Nqakula will effectively hand herself over to law enforcement agencies. And after she has been processed here at this police station, she will then be taken to the Specialized Commercial Crimes Court, where she will face those graft allegations, where the NPA will be charging her with 12 counts of corruption, money laundering, and also racketeering.
Samkele, any luck on trying to figure out who that earlier convoy belonged to, the one that you said would be one of the former, or one of the deputy presidents, former perhaps? Have you been able to establish who that belonged to?
We've not yet been able to establish who that convoy belongs to, but it is a convoy that is utilized by one of the deputy presidents of the country. Not yet sure who it is. It did pull in through and drive to the back. We don't know who it is. We did see the...
They're about to pull the strings. They're about to pull the strings, man. Who's that person? Who's that person? Who's that deputy president who actually pulled in the same police station where Mapisa Nqakula is? Who's that deputy president? We need to know.
One of the gentlemen whom was the front man who goes ahead of the team, who was wearing that presidential protection services badge on his blazer, and he was directing this specific convoy on how to come in and where to go. It's not yet sure who it is. I can't speculate, but one would assume that it may be one of the two female former deputy presidents of the country. One of them, whom I will not mention, also may have been a former Speaker of Parliament. One may also have...
I mean, like, are you talking about Balakambet? Are you talking about Balakambet?
Have been deployed.
Are you talking about Balakambet, man? Stop it with your smug, man. I mean, like, this is the reason why people hate the mainstream media. This is the reason why people hate the mainstream media, because you are going to play fast and loose with the facts. Just tell the people, man, you're not going to throw this thing that maybe one was a Speaker of Parliament. Are you talking about Balakambet?
Lloyd, to the United Nations as well, so we don't know either one of the two who it is, or any of the other males who may have been the deputy president of the country, who is here at this police station to support Nosiviwe Mapisa Nqakula.
Are they there to support Nosiviwe Mapisa Nqakula, or are they there to make sure that Nosiviwe Mapisa Nqakula is not held accountable? Are they there to support her? What kind of support? Or are they there to make sure that, like, this woman never spends a day in jail? Why are they there? Why are they there?
Whose career in the latter part of the past few years have been shrouded in many allegations. Particularly, you'd remember when she was the Minister of Defense, when she was accused of bringing in an individual or a young lady from a foreign country into South Africa illegally. You'd remember how Nqakula, the police commissioner of KwaZulu-Natal, said that the then defense minister was lying when she said that there were 800 soldiers on the ground in KwaZulu-Natal at the time of the July unrest as well. Those videos of Nqakula, the provincial commissioner of KwaZulu, going viral as well. We've also had those allegations of that relationship that the Nqakulas have with the Watson brothers, as with the Watson family as well. In fact, when we went to the family during that interdict that Nosiviwe Mapisa Nqakula was pursuing, we did see the nephew of the late Gavin Watson at the home of the Nqakulas. That would be Jared Watson as well, who is a family friend. And it would also tell you that Nosiviwe Mapisa Nqakula has been shrouded with many allegations in the past 5-6 years of the latter parts of her career. Just 2 months away from retiring from active politics, having to effectively resign as a member of parliament and resign as the Speaker of the National Assembly due to allegations of graft, corruption and money laundering and racketeering.
I don't understand, man. Why are those politicians there? Or guys, am I exaggerating when I'm asking why are those politicians there? I don't understand. Why would a former Speaker of Parliament? I believe that Nqakula Maseko is talking about Balekambete, but I don't know why he won't mention Balekambete's name. Why are they there? Why are they there? Are they offering support, or are they making sure that this woman doesn't spend time in jail?
And we continue to get reaction on the resignation of Mapisa Nqakula as Speaker of the National Assembly. We speak now to the ANC Veterans League President, Dr. Snuki Zikalala.
I mean, like, when they have Snuki Zikalala, you know it's about to go down. I don't know why the African National Congress allows this man to continue doing the interviews, because every time Snuki Zikalala speaks on behalf of African National Congress, he does nothing but hurts the movement. He hurts the movement, man. I don't know who actually allows this man to continue speaking on behalf of the ANC. Just listen to what this man is about to say.
Mapisa Nqakula as Speaker of the National Assembly. We speak now to the ANC Veterans League President, Dr. Snuki Zikalala. Dr. Zikalala, good evening to you and thank you for your time. Did the Speaker, or should we say the former Speaker now, act out of her conscience and respect for the position she held, or was this sparked by public pressure and possibly the knowledge that she might be arrested soon?
Well, I think she acted out of her conscience.
I mean, like, stop lying, man. If this woman acted out of her conscience, she would have not launched that agent interdict to stop her arrest, and she would have resigned. But she only resigned after her agent interdict was actually thrown out of jail. So for Snuki Zikalala to come here and say that this woman is acting out of conscience, how is she acting out of conscience? How is she acting out of conscience?
For the position she held, or was this sparked by public pressure and possibly the knowledge that she might be arrested soon?
Well, I think she acted out of her conscience, that firstly that she's not bigger than the organization, that the institute that she's leading as a Speaker of Parliament is an institution that needs to be protected. Integrity and dignity must be protected. And of course, that's what has motivated her to submit her resignation to the Secretary General of the ANC, which we can confirm that the SG has received the letter, and also the letter was also sent to the acting Speaker of Parliament. I think she has realized that it's important for her not to taint and especially Parliament, and not to make sure that the focus should not be on Parliament itself, but that her case must be dealt with properly, and so that the integrity and dignity of Parliament must be upheld.
Parliament, under her stewardship, has been compromised and lacking in integrity. At least that's according to the EFF.
Not only the EFF, but to South Africans. South Africans also know that. South Africans know that ever since this woman has been the Speaker, man. But I think not only Mapisa Nqakula, even when Balekambete was still the Speaker of the Parliament, I don't think like South African Parliament has actually at one point had integrity. But I remember some people said that we remember when the Parliament was still run by the National Party. We remember back then the Parliament used to be respected, but now after the African National Congress, man, ever since these people had their people as the speakers of Parliament, everything went sideways. I'm not only gonna talk about Mapisa Nqakula, I'm also gonna mention Balekambete, man. Like, even when Balekambete was a Speaker of Parliament, everything was all over the place.
How does the ANC view her performance or record?
No. I think we as the ANC, were really proud of what she has done in Parliament.
And what is it exactly Mapisa Nqakula has done that made African National Congress proud of her? Besides defending Ramaphosa, or is that what they are proud of? Besides defending Ramaphosa or shielding Ramaphosa, What is it exactly that Nosiviwe Mapisa Nqakula has done that benefited the people on the ground? What is it that she has done as the Speaker of the National Assembly? What is it that she has done?
And it's not true what the EFF is telling us. The EFF that just came yesterday in Parliament, they can't tell us about the performance, about 30 years of service that she has given to the African National Congress. It's not the EFF that can tell us exactly that she failed dismally in steering the ship. I think we are proud of the work that she has done, and of course the ANC itself will definitely support her as she's going through this trying time. But she says she wants to focus on defending her case, and she feels that she's confident that she'll be given an opportune time to defend herself properly, because we all believe in the rule of law, and we all believe in the constitutional democracy, and of course she has her own right to defend herself in the court of law.
And Snuki Zikalala says that the African National Congress will support Nosiviwe Mapisa Nqakula in this trying time. What does he mean by that when he says that the ANC will support her? The ANC will support her. Like this woman, it doesn't matter what she's accused of, the ANC will support her. I mean, like, what does it say about the ruling party? What does it say about the ruling party? What does it say about them? Why can't they simply say, like, okay, we're going to wait for this woman to fight her battles, and if she's found innocent, then ANC will be there. But now to say that the African National Congress is going to support her in her trying times, it means that even when you are a staunch member of the ANC, it doesn't matter what you are accused of, the party will always be here to support you. So why should the African National Congress support a person who has been accused of corruption, a person who has been accused of corruption for years right now? It's for years.
Well, that 30 years of public service that she speaks about, the South African Defence Force, the strong view right now is that it is unable to carry out its duties where they are deployed in the DRC, and it is owing in part to what the EFF, again, I'm going to refer to their statement as reeling under the weight of severe repercussions of rampant corruption. Do you argue against that particular record?
But I argue against it. If there's rampant corruption, they have the right to report corruption to the law enforcement agencies.
I mean, like the same law enforcement agencies that can do their job. The same law enforcement agencies that cannot do their job. I mean, you know how patronizing it is when you hear people like Snuki Zikalala saying that if you know anything about corruption, if you know that our members are committing corruption, why don't you go and report it to the law enforcement agencies? The same law enforcement agencies that Ramaphosa himself said that they were broken down. The same law enforcement agencies that Ramaphosa said that they need to be strengthened before they deal with these matters. So when you say that people must go and report these matters to the law enforcement agencies, which law enforcement agencies are you talking about?
You can't just talk about corruption glibly and say there was rampant corruption.
You know, it is very frustrating because these people are going around and pretending like we have good law enforcement agencies that are there willing to deal with corruption, willing to root out corruption, whereas even the president himself said that these law enforcement agencies have been broken down, and these law enforcement agencies, they need to be rebuilt again so that they can take care of these matters. But for Snuki Zikalala to go out and say that, yeah, if you know of corruption, yeah, you need to report these matters to the law enforcement agencies, pretending to not to know that the law enforcement agencies have been broken down. I mean, like, it's frustrating, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating.
Corruption. You must remember that the defense budget was cut drastically. And that is why when Comrade Thandi Modise was appointed, she protested in Parliament that the Defence Force is incapable of doing certain duties which it was expected to do because of budget cuts. And so the budget was severely cut, and of course the budget was redirected to social services like the health, education, housing, and so which are very, very important. And but at the same time, the defense force really suffered severely in terms of budget cuts. But to be honest with you, we are saying that if EFF has got concrete evidence that there is corruption within the Defence Force, let them take the matter to the police. Let them report the matter to the police. Let the law enforcement agencies deal with those who are corrupt within the Defence Force. It should not be an abject statement where they are brushing everybody with the same brush. It's not true. And so I'm saying we live in a constitutional democracy. We believe in the rule of law. Any individual who's found wanting, the law enforcement agencies will deal with that individual.
Well, here's a view of an independent observer, Yaki Silia. His job, I would imagine, is analyzing and studying the work of the South African National Defence Force. And his view tonight, reflecting on Mapisa Nqakula's record as Defence Minister, is that abuse of power and utter incompetence is perhaps part of the reason why the SANDF is unable to carry out its duties in the DRC right now.
And again, why are these people being deployed as the head of South African National Defence Force? I mean, like, as a president, what would actually prompt you to deploy Mapisa Nqakula as the head of South African National Defence Force? What would actually prompt you to deploy Thandi Modise as the head of South African National Defence Force? Don't we have people in South Africa who can actually lead that department better? Don't we have people that can actually say, like, that can actually protect the lives of South Africans? Because as far as I'm concerned, as long as these women are as long as these people are still there as the head of National Defence Force, South Africans are not safe. South Africans are not safe, man. And these people are comrades. These people are comrades. They are incompetent comrades. And for them to expect us to trust these people with our safety, I mean, like, to me, it doesn't make sense. To me, it doesn't make sense. Why would you deploy these people, man, to be the ministers of defense? Or like a minister of defense, guys, that is a very serious business. Minister of defense, are you even surprised that South Africa today is being invaded left, right, and center? Are you even surprised that we have foreigners coming all over the place, illegal immigrants are coming from all over the place, doing as they please in South Africa? Where is this defense that they are talking about? Where are these ministers of defense when the people in the country, they are being invaded? Where is this defense? You look at what is happening in South Africa. You look at the fact that the kidnapping is up. You look at the fact that homicide is up. You look at the fact that drugs are up. People are doing as they please because, first of all, in this country, we don't have the borders. The country is vulnerable. The country is vulnerable. I mean, like I'm not even surprised. Me personally, I'm not even surprised. But as a president, if you are a president and you think that Mapisa Nqakula would make a good minister of defense, what actually makes you think that Mapisa Nqakula would make a good minister of defense? Can't you look at the country and say that, man, the people in South Africa, they are not protected? The fact that people in South Africa are not protected, it means that these people who are supposedly in charge of defense in this country, they don't know what the hell they are doing. They don't know what the hell they are doing. I mean, like, don't we have better people to actually take charge of that department? Don't we have better people to be deployed as the ministers of defense, that the people who can actually do their job? Don't we have better people in South Africa? I mean, with like 60 million people in South Africa, we don't have a single person who can actually make sure that the citizens of this country are protected and safe. We keep putting these cadres to be the ministers of defense, but the work is there, like the evidence is there. It shows you that these people, they don't know what the hell they are doing. It shows you that these people, they don't know what the hell they are doing. Like illegal immigrants, man, these people are making up passports, they are making identity documents. They are making all sorts of things, man. You look at these people, the Bangladeshis and the what, they are making up their own food. People are getting sick in the townships. The children are dying after consuming this food that has been sold by these people who come from God knows where. But we have the ministers of defense. We have these people earning enormous salaries, drawing fat checks. But you look at what is happening in the country. Don't we have better people, guys?
How do you respond?
Well, against Silius is very disingenuous.
Then you have people like Snuki Zikalala going from television to television defending such people. I mean, like, what does it say about Snuki Zikalala? Or is it because these people are living in mansions, they are living in gated communities? They don't know what the average people in the streets are going through. They speak from the position of privilege because they don't know what average South Africans are going through. This is the only conclusion that you can draw from this whole thing. That, okay, these people are speaking from the position of privilege. That's why it is so easy for Snuki Zikalala to go on national television and to say that Mapisa Nqakula has served the people of this country for 30 years. Can you show me one thing that Mapisa Nqakula has did for the people of South Africa? Can you show me one thing that she has actually did for this people for the people of South Africa, besides benefiting her own family by being in parliament and by being in government? Can you show me one thing that this woman has actually done for the people of South Africa? Not for her, but for the people of South Africa. I mean, like, these people, man, who are privileged, man, whenever they open their own mouths, man, like, it is sick to listen to. It is sick to listen to.
Yeah. As a citizen of South Africa, if he has observed and studied what is happening in defense, he has the right to complain to especially to the public protector, if she has seen that there's corruption, if she has seen that there's incompetence, there's malfeasance. There are those channels in the country, and the individual cannot stand on top of the mountain and say, this is what is happening there. He, as a citizen of South Africa, has got the right to protect the integrity of defense as a citizen of South Africa. And
what integrity of the defense? And Snuki Zikalala, again, he's talking about the public protector, the same public protector who came out, and the first thing that woman uttered is that Ramaphosa did nothing wrong with Phalaphala. Is Snuki Zikalala talking about the same public protector? I mean, like, the public protector of South Africa, I mean, basically right now we don't have a public protector. I think, as far as I'm concerned, we don't have a public protector in South Africa. You see, when that woman came out and said that Ramaphosa did nothing with Phalaphala, that's when I knew that we don't have a public protector in South Africa. The fact that she said that about President Ramaphosa, I knew it that we don't have a public protector. But Snuki Zikalala is talking about the office of public protector. He's talking about the police. He's talking about the justice system, as if these entities are actually working. He's talking about these entities as if these entities are working, man. You know, like, listening to Snuki Zikalala, it has to be one of the most frustrating things ever. You will be frustrated listening to this man.
Take this matter to law enforcement agencies, take it to the public protector, let them investigate the corruption that he's talking about. Let them deal with the question of incompetency by the former minister that he's talking about. I think he is disingenuous. South Africans should not stand up and just shout on top of the roof without putting their fingers and say, not in our name. You cannot do this in the defense force. We have structures that can deal with those issues where the public can go and complain to the public protector and also to the police if they find that there's corruption within the defense force.
Mr. Zikalala,
can you imagine going to the police? The same South African police that has been run by Bheki Cele.
The ANC has, over the years, been saying that they want to shield the party from anything that has to do with corruption or that could severely compromise the image of the ANC. Will you be side by side Mapisa Nqakula in court if indeed she is ultimately charged?
No. Gone are the days where, as members of the ANC, as the Secretary General was saying, that we defend people who have done wrong things. We are not saying that she has done wrong things, but we are saying that she's going to court. It's a personal thing. She's been charged as an individual. It's not the party that is being charged. And so she must go and face the trial. She must go to court. We, as the African National Congress, we won't mobilize people to go to court and support her. But we are saying that she must be able to defend herself in the court.
Dr. Zikalala, are you still there?
still there? I'm saying, can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Now you're a bit audible. Let's continue.
I'm saying the Secretary General has made it very clear that another day where we'll go and defend individuals in the courts, and those individuals are found wanting.
Well,
Zuma, we saw what because Zuma was involved in ensuring that he destroys the party, destroys government, he loots state entities. And all the SOEs are collapsing because of the looting that took place during his time. And so gone are those days where we go and say we support our comrade until he's been found not guilty in the court of law.
Well, you quote the Zuma lessons there for the ANC, and of course, time will tell whether indeed some of your members and indeed leaders are going to stick to that line that you are not going to be in court supporting people who are charged with serious crimes. But reflecting on exactly what you have just mentioned, the issues that have beset the ANC under former President Jacob Zuma, now you have Nosiviwe Mapisa Nqakula. It's no ordinary position that she held as Speaker of Parliament. She basically led one of the three arms of the state. This must be a severe, severe beating for the ANC in terms of public reputation.
What
No,
reputation?
it is a severe beating because
I mean, like, guys, before, like what reputation to start with? What reputation?
this is a set senior position within government, as you know, as the president, the deputy president, and the speaker. And so we are saying that it has dented the organization, its image, and of course we are saying that it's an individual who's been accused of taking bribes, and so that individual says that she's not guilty. Let's give it the due. Let's give it the space to defend herself. If she's been found wanting, of course, the law enforcement agencies will deal with it. And we are saying that it has dented the image of the organization, but the organization is dealing with it. That is why we commend her for having resigned. We commend her for saying that she'll remain a member of the African National Congress. We commend her for saying that she's resigning from Parliament, and of course, as a member as the Speaker of Parliament. We commend her for that decision that she has taken. Actually, she has saved the ANC, and so we let's wait and see what happens in the court of law, because she appeared in the court of law, and of course, if there are individuals who want to support her as individuals, not as an organization, it's up to them.
Dr. Snuki Zikalala, thank you very much.
So basically, Snuki Zikalala is saying that if the individuals within the African National Congress wants to go and support Nosiviwe Mapisa Nqakula, it is fine. These people can support her. They can support her individually. That doesn't mean that the African National Congress supports her. I mean, like, if you see Fikile Mbalula, Poloma Shatile, Balakambete, go in there and supporting Nosiviwe Mapisa Nqakula, you must not think that is the African National Congress basically supporting Nosiviwe Mapisa Nqakula, but you must think that those people are supporting her individually. Guys, it doesn't make sense, but regardless, please tell me what you think on the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button, and the most important part, subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabaso. I will see you next time. Bye bye.